This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
As soccer takes center stage this summer, Comcast helps bring the experience home to America. As the exclusive Spanish-language home of the tournament in the U.S., Telemundo is set to present its most expansive coverage ever. 700 hours of programming, live on-site presence at all 104 matches. And with multi-view and real-time 4K, Xfinity will deliver the most innovative and immersive sports viewing experience for fans watching on Telemundo, Peacock, Fox, and FS1. Learn more at ComcastCorporation.com.
Are all batteries the same? That's like asking if all soccer players are the same. Take Messi, the most decorated player ever. Is there any other player who has achieved that? No, just him. Now take Duracell. Is there any other battery with power boost ingredients inside? No, just Duracell. Remember, goats only trust goats because they're built different. And Messi only trusts Duracell.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Skating Penguin Network show. It is Robbie here again with Snail, as always. And yeah, it's been a little while, but we've kind of nicely settled into a kind of holding pattern on the NHL offseason. That time of year, we're now at July 18th. We're over 2 weeks from free agency starting. And it's kind of all kind of in a lull right now. And now you just wait for maybe a trade or there was a pretty big signing in the NHL today out in Chicago, so we'll hit on that a little bit later. But for the most part, surrounding the Penguins, not much in terms of player movement, but we do have some ECHL talk to get out of the way. And then, of course, the schedule was released this week. We'll talk about that as well. But before we dive into the specifics, as I mentioned, Snail is here as well. And Snail, how are things out on the West Coast these days?
Things are good, man. It's summer now. It's pretty much hot every day. Nothing. We're not in a heat dome. No scorching weather or anything like that. It's just classic Northwest. Not too humid. Maybe even a little gray skies here, but things are pretty much around the upper 70s, low 80s. Yeah, man. It feels like we're getting close to August, which that's when it really kicks up around here, the heat. But yeah, I don't know. The World Cup buzz is kind of starting to dissipate a little bit. There's no more games out here. Seattle hosted a number of games. They've been having watch parties, though, down in kind of like the Westlake Center kind of square. It's kind of a big pavilion down in Seattle that's for a number of events, and it's kind of a good little hangout spot. All right. But yeah, they've been having the watch parties, but those have even been trickling in attendance and all that. So yeah, we're kind of, the podcast in like hockey has definitely come to a bit of a standstill, but it kind of feels like that summer buzz that we were experiencing probably all over the country just a couple weeks ago is kind of dissipated as well. And yeah, dude, we're getting into the dog days of summer, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I know out here, you were kind of poking at Garrett and I about how when it was like 95 here, you were out there like beautiful weather, but like 65 degrees. Yeah. We had a pretty hot week this week, just a couple days. But the last 2 days it's been a little cooler and rain today. But we had to battle off Canadian wildfire smoke.
No way, you guys got smoke down there?
It was bad. It smelled like you could. Like, well, everything was like in sepia tone, like, on an Instagram filter, and it smelled of burnt wood. It was
no way you could smell the cinder.
Oh yeah, you could smell it smelled like really bad. Like I mean, everything was kind of like closed up, and you just kind of hope that you could avoid going outside if you could. But it started to lift today, and hopefully it stays away because we only had 2 days of it. I know some places had more, but it was. It's just miserable to sit there and smell that, and everything looks like, even though it's like a nice day, the sun's out, like everything just looks kind of apocalyptic.
Yeah.
I
And I
did
think
see,
it kind of makes it more hot too. Like the smoke kind of insulates that.
yeah,
Like
it
I
kind of
think.
acts as like a blanket. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
miserable. Where in Canada are there fires right now?
Up in the
Like Ontario?
I think Ontario is a part of it, but then like even into like Saskatchewan and Winnipeg and
Wow.
or not Winnipeg, Manitoba. Um,
Gotcha.
but I did see some Seattle news. I don't know if Snell, if you saw it, you guys have a new local celebrity out in the Seattle area. His name's Jimothy. He is a hunchback raccoon that has
Yeah.
some kind of developmental disability.
Yeah,
He
he's
kind of looks
deformed.
like a little gremlin, but I did see that he's become kind of like a minor animal celebrity out there out your way.
Yeah, and I think it's so funny that this is becoming like mainstream media because Jimothy's actually been around for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
He lived in this thicket of like cedars, but they cut it down, and he was missing for a year. But he's resurfaced, and with him resurfacing has kind of brought a sigh of relief to the locals that kind of look out for Jimothy, and he is getting celebrity levels of like attention right now. I mean, it's so funny. He is deformed, but he's adorable, and it's just he's becoming like I heard the mayor of Seattle's trying to make this the summer of Jimothy, like they kind of name it like the summer of Jimothy or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that, and it's a little bit like you know what? Good for that little guy because there's probably a chance if he didn't have a loving raccoon family that
yeah,
helped him survive,
yeah,
we would have never seen him. He would have never made it past infancy.
yeah,
But here he is on everyone's social media. He's captured the hearts of billions probably. So
yeah.
yeah, man, he is kind of that's where we're at in like, the dog days of summer that, there's no more like baseball's kind of the only thing going right now. Football hasn't started up. Hockey's
Yeah.
gone. NBA's quiet. All we got is the trickling little ends here of the World Cup and Jimothy.
Oh, so I didn't realize Jimothy was a minor local celebrity for years leading up to this, and it just completely broke the bubble out there in the Seattle area. Now he's all over the place. I saw like a news article and like just videos of him running around, his little gremlin ass running around
Yeah,
people's backyards and stuff. But
he's
I
getting
mean,
around pretty good.
yeah, he seems like he's healthy outside. I mean, obviously he can't control the spine thing, but like it definitely seems like he's healthy. He doesn't look like he's like emaciated or like handicapped
No.
or anything. He's just got a weird little defect, and he kind of just capturing the hearts. Again, raccoons have like that weird personality where like everybody thinks of them as dirty garbage dwellers, but like they can kind of be domesticated if you
Yeah.
really. Yeah, I mean they're just kind of like they call them trash pandas. They're just kind of they have the eyes and
Opposable thumbs.
yeah, they can like they can like carry stuff like a human does. It's
They could
very
open a door, like they could like grasp a doorknob.
that'd be terrifying, but yeah. One night you're watching TV, all of a sudden your door just like creaks open and you get a little and like Jimothy walks in and
Would you rather have Jimothy or a stranger?
probably Jimothy.
Yeah, if you saw him, you'd be like, "Oh, Jimothy, can I
Yeah,
get you like
yeah.
a banana or something?"
Yeah, I mean, I've seen enough news now. If Jimothy comes in, he seems chill. I wouldn't know about a person like, and Jimothy, I feel like I could at least hide from a little
Okay,
bit.
would you
Easier.
rather have Jimothy come in or Garrett?
Jimothy?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
But no, I saw that this week, and I wanted to bring it up because it's. I mean, it kind of leaks over into us because you being from Seattle,
Yeah.
and Jimothy breaking into headlines. It's pretty funny, but good to know that like he's been around for years now, and he's
Not too long. I think a couple of years. I don't think he's that old, but I do know that there was some stuff that surfaced about him like maybe a year and a half ago. But then the big thing was they cut down his home, and people thought maybe that raccoon family, maybe he got left behind and he died. Who knows? But no, he resurfaced, and everyone kind of can breathe a sigh of relief that he's being taken care of by his family, and people are leaving him alone too. God, there's people that there's probably someone out there that wants to put Jimothy on their mantle. Let's hope that never happens. Let's hope that he's protected by his community.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah,
Well, quickly before we get off raccoon talk, so in Washington, see, last winter, I never had raccoons in my yard because we'd always had outdoor cats and dogs.
Yeah.
But this is the first year where we haven't had an outdoor cat or a dog in the yard. And we got a family of raccoons, and it was
Oh.
like they would come up. I couldn't feed them out of my hand yet, but I would give them like little cat treats and stuff, and they would come up and they would
Yeah.
like, they were like friendly, like they weren't like hissing or seemed scared, but they had like a bunch of babies behind them and stuff too. They're adorable. And I
Yeah.
remember I went down the rabbit hole, not that I would, but I was just like, can you domesticate a raccoon in Washington? And it is illegal here. But I was shocked to find out that there is a large portion of the country where having a raccoon as a pet is not illegal. Now, Robbie, I've got to ask you, in Western Pennsylvania, are there people that could have raccoons as pets?
I honestly don't know
Have you
what the
seen
laws
one?
are. I don't know if I've seen raccoons. I don't know if I've ever seen one. As a pet in pets. I don't know if I can. Okay, so it's illegal to take one from the wild and keep it as a pet, but you can legally own a captive bred raccoon.
No way. So you guys are already
so
better than Washington.
yeah. So I did. Yeah, I don't. I'm sure the wild caught thing is in relation to the spread of disease and stuff like that. But yeah, you can legally own a raccoon in Pennsylvania as a pet if you go through the proper avenues. But we are a very rural state outside of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. So like raccoons just in general are not necessarily a rarity by any means. And like, do you like out there, like everybody thinks Seattle and Washington, but I mean, Washington, the state is like 85% woodlands.
The west side is all woodlands up to the mountains, and then once you go east of those the Cascade Range, it might as well be South Dakota.
Okay, yeah. So like you have plenty of habitat.
You can stand on a stool and see across the state, and it's barren, dry, hot, cold in the winter. Nothing really grows unless you work at it. It's dusty. It's just I wouldn't mind if Western Washington seceded from Eastern Washington. Let's just put it that way.
It's basically the Midwest.
It's worse than the Midwest because there's not even like really like lakes and trees over there. It's just like a dust bowl. But out here on this side, raccoons are super common.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday my neighbor was having an estate sale, and I went over there, and there was a 6-point buck just sitting under their tree, unbothered by all the people, just sitting under a tree in the backyard. Probably like 25 feet away from us. Bears have even made their way down.
Oh, wow.
Like they'll dig through like on my parents' road, which is just a town over. You'll get black bears, which are like the raccoons of bears, which brown bears and grizzly bears and stuff, they're dangerous. They live in the woods, but brown bears kind of make their way more towards like people, and they'll live in like the same woods as like cougars and mountain lions, deer and stuff like that. So we have a pretty diverse little, fauna out here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Washington, like you have the Cascades there. You have a bunch of woodland areas, and like you said, you have apparently South Dakota on the West Coast, and a portion of it as well. So, no, I mean, I just thought it was funny that of all the places for Jimothy to live, it was in Seattle.
So it's in Seattle, man.
Had to bring that up, but
for sure.
So getting away from raccoon talk here into the Penguins talk. Not much to really talk about, to write home about. It's mostly just let's get through these next few weeks of summer, but everything, it's starting pretty early this year because the schedule release this week, we are starting, and for the first time ever, I believe, I don't know 100% for sure because I didn't look back far enough, the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to play an actual hockey game on my birthday. And
the day after my birthday, right?
Yes. The Penguins have never played on September 30th, as far as I can tell. But they will open their season in Philadelphia on that day. Again, remember, we are going to 84 games this season, and the Pittsburgh Penguins will start their season on September 30th. So will most of that's opening night for the NHL. There's 2 other games that night, I think. And it's going to be, I'm glad that we're getting an earlier start. Hopefully that means that, one, we aren't playing until almost the 4th of July, but who knows with the NHL. I do know that they are reinstituting the bye week kind of thing that every team gets at some point, that they did, but then it kind of got thrown out of whack with COVID scheduling and stuff. But we know when the Penguins are playing, and the first game is September 30th. And I don't know about you, Snell, but it feels like, okay, we're in the July, but like this is a big marker getting to next season when that schedule comes out.
Yeah, man, it's always exciting to take a peek at the schedule and get an idea of, because like the older you get, Robbie, you kind of know where you're going to be throughout the year.
Yeah.
Especially when you're locked into a career or whatever. So it's kind of nice to be like, oh, yeah, nice. They play this. I'm going to have to be home for that game. I'm going to mark this on my calendar. Kicking off against the Flyers is, I think, just it's how it should be. Like, get a rivalry game.
Why not open with a rivalry night, right? Why not start with that? That's fantastic.
It is. And I mean, that's where their season ended against the Flyers in the playoffs. So let's just kick things off right where they ended. And yeah, man, I think it's going to be exciting. I think there's a slate of some other good games that night too.
Yeah.
I think it's I remember seeing that it's going to be on HBO Max. So it's going to have that little peanut gallery of, Paul Bissonnette, Anson Carter, probably Wayne Gretzky, and Henrik Lundqvist usually is the other guy on there. Or
yeah, Lundqvist is there. Yep.
I think that's great. That's one of the more exciting, they've got a pretty good intermission going for that. Yeah. I don't know where we've never really talked about like where you stand or where we stand with the
TNT HBO intermission is, I mean, it's not even really worth a discussion. It's just so much better than the ESPN one. That crew with Liam McHugh, just the vibes on that crew are so good.
Yeah, the one with PK and Messier, like that one gets a little just stale.
Too try hard.
It's like try hard.
It's just way too try hard for me. And again, I think there's some they have good moments, but that crew of Lundqvist is so good on TV. I think it's important to have. Let's have the conversation while we're already going down that road. I think it's important to have a goalie on these panels. I really just, especially Lundqvist. Again, I think Brian Boucher does good when he's on the broadcast. Gives you that goalie. Darren Pang is kind of like that as well. But Lundqvist, obviously in the Hall of Fame and all this other stuff, I really think it's in today's game. It's important to have a guy like Lundqvist, a goaltender, on these shows because it just adds another layer. Because goaltending is such its own its own little clique and it's just such a it's such a refined position that there's only 40 goaltenders in the NHL that are technically you have 32, 64, whatever, but right. It's still so limited. You have 2 goaltenders a team where you have 12 forwards a team. It's just so it's such a niche position where so few can talk about it. And the good guys that can talk about it, like Lundqvist and Boucher, I think it's important to have those guys on these shows because it adds a new element, especially for newer fans who maybe don't get all the ins and outs of the position.
Yeah, I mean, the goalie position in hockey is so much different. Like you said, for newer fans, this isn't like a soccer goalie, which I'm sure is it's technical in its own ways. But talking about the right guy to talk about being a goaltender too. I think Henrik Lundqvist is so comfortable in front of the camera. It seems like that guy, he's got a sense of humor. He can be hilarious. He can really take you into the mind of a goaltender. I love listening to that guy talk. And yeah, like you said, Brian Boucher is really good as well. I like when he's on the broadcast. Usually he's in between the benches on some broadcasts.
Yeah.
I remember it's always him, Eddie Olczyk. I think they do games a lot together. With Eddie being up in the booth. But yeah, no, I think that it's really good. Anson Carter, he gets his people have their opinions on him. I think he's fine, whatever.
Yeah, Carter, Anson's fine, yeah.
I think sometimes Paul Bissonnette, I think I get a little fatigued by him, usually about halfway through the second half of the season. He's been good for hockey. I think he is funny.
I just sometimes the spit and chiclet side comes out a little too much on TV, and like the show's fun, like doing that, but like but again, when you get the guys, they interview guys post game and they just start throwing digs at Bissonnette, it's always good fun because he's just such an easy target.
He is an easy target, but I think one thing for me is like you need characters on a panel, and I think that's what he's there for, is to be more of a character.
Absolutely.
But sometimes when I hear him start really trying to talk X's and O's and break down a game, I mean, his career was so short, and he had such limited roles in almost every scenario he was in the NHL for. It doesn't come off to me. I'm like, who's feeding this guy this through his microphone or into his headset to recite? Because I don't know if that guy really had the X's and O's down. Who knows? Maybe one day things will change, or maybe my opinion will change. But the TNT panel with Lundqvist is great. Anson Carter is fine. Bissonnette, he's a good character piece. Liam McHugh's great too. I think he's a great kind of what would you call him? Like
he's the host.
Host. Yeah, he's a good host.
Yeah, and he's like, he plays the role of like he manages everything well. He never lets it get too out of. Yeah, he just does it very well. He was good on NBC when he had him there. And that was more of like a straight edge kind of thing. But on this kind of more loose format, like he definitely keeps everybody in line, but also can do the jokes, and he plays the role well. So yeah, I definitely like McHugh as well. Very very hockey smart and very good at kind of running the show.
Agreed. So as far as the Penguins kicking off the season, that's going to be circled on my calendar. It'll be your birthday. It'll be the day after mine.
Yeah.
It'll be good, man. And then it's going to be an interesting season to see. Because, dude, has there ever been a year where they had the Heritage Classic, the Winter Classic, and obviously the Stadium Series all happening in the same season? I didn't know the Heritage Classic was every year. I thought
they do take off time, it feels like. Again, maybe it's not as promoted down here. You think it should be, though, because they do broadcast it. When is the Heritage? Did they say when the Heritage was? I didn't even look.
Yeah, I had it. I took a screenshot of it on my phone. I can look it up quick.
I will say October 13th, we get another Frozen Frenzy. Nice. The Penguins are in Chicago that night. That is October 13th. The Penguins are they're the 8:00 slot. So all 32 teams are in action that night. And I did see that on the final day of the season, April 10th, all 32 teams are in action as well. Don't know if that's going to be quite as staggered. That might be one of those things where we check and see what the kind of playoff scenarios are. The Penguins are scheduled for 6:00 in Jersey that day. I will say they end the season on a 4-game road trip. I think they have 11 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
This episode is brought to you by Google Health. Stop chasing someone else's definition of health. What matters is what's healthy for you. Google Health offers a new kind of coach built with Gemini for effortless tracking, sleep insights, and holistic coaching tailored to you. Visit googlestore.com to learn more and start a new relationship with your health. Requires Google account, Google Health app, internet, and Google Health Premium subscription. Features subject to change. Availability and results vary. Not intended for medical purposes. Works independently of Gemini apps. Check responses for accuracy.
Hey, it's Bill from the Bill Simmons podcast. FIFA World Cup 26 fans, listen up. As the official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26, Michelob Ultra is giving away $1 million worth of FIFA World Cup 26 tickets and prizes. Enter now at MichelobUltra.com/superior access/FIFA World Cup 26. Michelob Ultra FIFA World Cup 26 superior access. No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus begins on December 1st, 2025. Ends on July 31st, 2026. Multiple entry periods. Visit www.MichelobUltra.com/superior access/FIFA World Cup 26 for free entry deadlines, prizes, and details.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Pay's checkout is offered by your banks and credit unions. So when you shop online at participating merchants, your cards appear in one place, ready to use and kept up to date. And the best part, your actual card number isn't shared when you check out. Because boundaries are healthy, like no work emails after 6. One small step for boundaries, one big leap for checkout. Pace. It checks out. Activation required. See Pace.com to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Their final 13 games of the season are all against Metropolitan Division teams. So,
well, let's hope they're in a good position.
Yeah, you want to talk about a make or break stretch? That is going to be it. Certainly, Martin Luther King Day, which is January 15th. Oh, sorry, President's Day, which is February 15th. Got my month wrong here. That is when they are in Snail's neck of the woods. That'll be a part of the Western Canada Pacific Northwest swing. But yeah, President's Day, the 15th, 4 o'clock Eastern time. That means 1 o'clock Snail's time.
Why do they do do in here? They've done it twice now. I hate the early games, man.
But yeah, they will be in Seattle for that one. Again, right, that is coming out of the bye week too. Like they have a long stretch of no hockey leading into that All-Star game / bye week, I should say. Yeah, it's the schedule. Again, if you like division opponents, you're gonna love the end of the year. But man, they are packing in the Metro schedule toward the end of the season, which is slightly annoying.
Heritage Classic's going to be on October 25th, which seems a little bit early, but I guess up there in Canada, it's going to be played up north there, and it's going to be at Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg, Manitoba. They might be getting some.
It's probably already snowing up there.
Maybe it is. They did not have a Winter Classic or a Heritage Classic last year.
I didn't think so.
Last one I remember was the one with Edmonton and Calgary.
Okay, yeah.
But there's probably another one after that.
And then New Year's Eve is actually the Winter Classic this year, and that is
beautiful.
That is the Utah Mammoth versus the Colorado Avalanche at the home of the Utah University in Salt Lake City. So that's really great to get Utah on that. That prime time that's showing, and then February.
Are they better right now than they ever were as the Coyotes?
Oh, absolutely! Like I mean, they were competitive with Vegas in the playoffs. They're a team on the rise. They have more talent, and I think they have an owner that actually knows about like building, that wants to build a team and knows how to market its actual superstar players, and then. We will have the Stadium Series, which is between Vegas and Dallas at Jerry World in Arlington, Texas. AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play. That is an indoor-outdoor venue. I think the roof opens, but that is potentially a massive crowd awaiting that one. So, no, I mean, yeah, you have all 3 outdoor games. You have the hat trick of outdoor games this year spread out throughout the season. The Heritage is the first there. I didn't realize it was in October. I thought it was maybe a little bit later, but no, I mean, you have the California trip for the Penguins in November, opening in September. Yeah, I mean, you're going to play every team twice. Every team. You play all your division teams 4 times. The other division in your conference 3 times, and then everybody in the opposite conference 4 times. A truly balanced schedule. 84 games for the first time ever. So more hockey, which I mean neither of us are really going to complain about. But no, it's just the schedule is something new to talk about when it comes out. So it gives you kind of a look ahead to the season. You can start looking at games. Hey, this road trip is fun. This is how it breaks down. I know the Penguins, I believe, have 16 back-to-back games, which is the most in the NHL. Brutal for a team that has guys that are going to be pushing or are over 40 years old. But there are worse things in the NHL than back-to-back games. But
Do you think we see load management for the aging stars, or like Sid doesn't see? Sid might smack someone.
Yeah, Sid, unless Sid's playing unless he's hurt. Malkin, I just don't think Malkin.
I actually might be okay with Malkin load management. I think last year he was good when he'd come back from a stint, like suspension. Every time he came back, he was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, he had that long layoff in December because of an injury, and then he was hurt again, and then he got suspended like right after that. So he missed he only played
baseball swings someone in the head, and he just is like, I need to take a break. I need like a week off.
I just need some time. Damn yous won't give me time off, so I'm making time off.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to look at Malkin. Malkin played 56 games last year on 61 points. So I maybe like to see 56 turn into 66.
Sure.
But I think that's more of a realistic. Again, Malkin's
give me
always
60 games. Give me 64 games.
Give me 64 games and 70 points.
64 games, 70 points. They're a playoff team.
Yeah. And I just think Malkin at this stage, it's not even going to take load management. I just think the body doesn't absorb the injuries as much anymore, and he just misses time with even an upper body injury for 2 games here, 3 games there. As long as he's not doing it to himself, and like you said, swinging a stick at Rasmus Dahlin's head. I just think that the injury, it's just the body is going to need a break, and it's going to tell him it needs a break. He goes to the trainer, hey, leg doesn't feel quite right tonight. He sits this game, sits that game, kind of thing. The goaltending situation, I think, is going to be what's the most fascinating thing of all of it. I think that you're going to see it's Mershov and Shelov's. I mean, Shelov's got the contract. He's coming back. We know that. I think that is the what's the most fascinating thing coming into training camp is how that's going to be managed.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they manage that. Dude, hold on quickly. I was looking. Do they still have that Hollander kid?
Let me look at the roster here real quick. It's tough to say because he pops in and out. He goes over to.
We had the blood clot last year.
That is right. Was it Philip Hollander, right?
Philip Hollander, yeah. It says he's still with the. It says he's a center for the Penguins. That guy was looking promising last year. I was gonna say with Gino coming in and out. I mean, they got some young guys that still got something to prove. I think. I'd like to see that Hollander kid get a little bit more of a look this year.
I mean, he played in 13 games last year. He was. I forgot about the blood clot. He had a goal and 3 assists in 13 games. I mean, that's nothing to really bat an eye at for a guy that's probably a bottom 6 player.
Yeah.
But again, right now they have players all over the place right now. But no, I mean, I don't really hate that idea whatsoever, is to give him a look at see what the health is, see where his form is at, and then go from there, because I think that could definitely be a guy that can play a role this season.
Yeah, and they got, Brazeau is probably going to be healthy. Remember last season he took off. He was like a goal a game for the first I don't even know. Maybe not a goal a game, but he was buzzing right out of the gates, and then he kind of trailed off and was
he did
in the playoffs.
But I did confirm that Philip Hollander is under contract for next season. Yep, so that's taken care of. Another name taken care of is Nick Robertson. Avoided arbitration. 2 years, $3.25 million against the cap. He's 24. I think
he's potentially a Kapanen type player.
I loved when they made the trade to bring him in. Again, Kyle Dubas loves his guys, I did like the move. He was kind of floated around the Penguins even before Dubas ever came into the fold a couple years ago as maybe a guy that they could buy low on. But he developed into a pretty nice player in Toronto, and the Penguins went out and got him for really, really cheap. They avoided arbitration by getting signed to that deal. Next Saturday, the 25th, a day to keep an eye on. That is the day that Jason Robertson has arbitration. Most people seem to think that if anything is going to happen, that basically everything will be resolved by that day. Like that is kind of what people are alluding to. So something to keep an eye on going here into the next week to see if maybe just some clarity on that situation. But going back to Nick Robertson,
you're still holding out some hope, for
yeah.
Robo?
I mean, it still seems like even the guys that have an ear to the ground say that like there's still discussions. Like it's still nothing's resolved on any fronts on that. The Penguins are still in the mix. Again, maybe Nick was a bargaining chip in the whole thing. That would be fantastic. I mean, come play with your brother. It'd be like the Kachucks of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Kachucks. A little bit less piss and vinegar, a little bit more just scoring talent. Although Matty Tkachuk had like 100 points one year that in Calgary. He was on that line with Gaudreau and that Swedish centerman. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I'll be interested to see where this Robertson thing goes. My guess is he stays in Dallas because I don't think he wants to leave. I think he just wants his coin. But man, there is his brother here, and it's like the Penguins are kind of in an interesting spot. I see a lot of chatter online. People think it's too early. Some people think it's just the right time. I feel like oddly enough, and tell me if I'm wrong, Robbie, but if you acquired Robertson, you'd have a team almost similarly to like the really good Dallas teams that Robertson was on a couple of years ago, where you have this influx of like youth. Like you'd have like, they had like Wyatt Johnson, who was just coming in. Stankoven was a rookie. They were making some noise in the playoffs. And then they had like Jamie Benn, Matt Duchene, Sagan on the back nine. And then you've got their good role players throughout, and they've got the good puck moving D-men. Ottinger's the one thing that, you could say the Penguins don't have is really that solidified number one kind of stud goalie anymore. But you got Sid, you've got Gino, you've got Erik Karlsson on the, as kind of like your superstar, aging superstars. You've got the, you got Kindle, you've got these young guys that are going to be pushing through, going to see what Rutger McGroarty's got in the tank for him this year. Yeah, I don't know if you slot Robertson in, he might be like kind of a similar situation to what I was in Dallas a couple of years ago. I mean, he knows what he's got to do. He's got to just drive play and put the puck in the net, which he's proven he knows how to do year in, year out.
Yeah, and I mean, removing even just Jason Robertson from the conversation, Nick in a vacuum, I still like that move. Just if that is just the move, like I think he brings something to the team. He maybe can bounce up and down the lineup, maybe like a Novak kind of player without the center ability. So yeah, just in general, I like the move of Nick Robertson just in a vacuum. If it's a piece that helps us land Jason, that's fantastic. But if it's just Nick, I'm completely fine with that as well. I think that he helps this team win hockey games when he's in Pittsburgh.
You know who Nick Robertson really reminded me of when he was in Toronto? And we'll see how he does in Pitt, but like he kind of reminded me of Jared McCann. Like he's like that lefty who's got like a really wicked shot. He's not really a centerman though. But if you look at like Jared McCann's stats before he came to Pittsburgh, Robertson actually has kind of better stats than Jared had before he came over. And Jared turned into a 40-goal scorer at one point in his career. He's definitely tailed off from that. But maybe you're buying in on Nick Robertson with kind of the same idea. You want a utility scorer kind of guy. And if he's in a good system and he gets maybe a little bit of the Dan Muse bump like so many got from him last year, maybe you turn him into like a 20-20 guy.
Honestly, I don't hate. I mean, Jared McCann being allowed to leave was it was a backbreaking mistake in terms of how things fell apart for the Penguins. And if they could finally find a way to get a McCann type player back, like you said, not the centerman, he doesn't have the centerman trait, but like a guy that can go out there and put up 20-20 or 20-30 playing in that Jared McCann type role on the wing would be fantastic. Again, they never were able to replace McCann after he left. They tried different things. Were never able to replicate what he was able to do, his skill set. So a guy like Robertson, who's still only 24 years old, if he can step into that role and put up a good scoring numbers, would be, I mean, massive for this team, because they are going to have to like Anthony Mantha is gone. Like, they're going to have to find a way to replace 30 goals. Like, they're going to have to find a way to replace that somehow. And again, a full season of Chinnikov, I think, helps that. But, like, you have to find scoring somewhere else. And I still think, and I think that Robertson is a way to bridge that gap and maybe bring in that skill set of a Jared McCann type that the Penguins have been desperately missing for a few years.
Yeah, man. Did we ever even talk about the Penguins free agents that they picked up on Free Agent Frenzy or whatever? Like, they got that Kuzmenko dude who can score.
Yeah, that is the guy that, like, everybody's like, this is your Mantha of this season.
Yeah, I could see it. Watch him flop completely, and they have to try to find a way to get rid of him. That would be I could see that happening. But Kuzmenko, wherever he's gone, whether it was like Calgary, Vancouver, and LA, he's been able to put the puck in the net pretty consistently.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like I like the Kuzmenko move. I'm not really anti any of their moves. It's just too many bodies on the roster right now that I'm interested to see exactly how they sort all that out in the coming weeks leading into training camp, or what all comes out of it.
Is there anyone left remaining on the free agency board that you'd sniff on at this point?
Let me bring it up. The one name I'm surprised they did not sniff on was what was his name?
Mason Marchment.
Like, we all kind of were like, oh, this is who they're going to go after, and then they straight up just didn't, which was crazy to me. Crazy.
Yeah, because I would have been down to, I mean, obviously it's not my money, but I would have been down to give them the term and money that he got in San Jose. Maybe he wanted to go to San Jose because that's where his dad played. You know, Mason's dad, his dad passed away, and I think he was played for the Sharks, was maybe a member of the organization, but maybe there was some sentimental pull there. But man, I would have given that guy the bag to come to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, absolutely. For some reason, no free agents showing up in terms of.
Well, there's forwards. Patrick Kane.
Kane is still out there.
Kevin Hayes.
Matt Grzelcyk.
There's also, you want to get another brother in. Why don't you just go out and get James Van Riemsdyk for that net front presence?
Yeah.
Vladimir Tarasenko. Let's just get all the Russians.
I thought about Tarasenko. I did see that, and would not be the worst thing.
Honestly, dude, back from NHL 2014, 15 when he was on the cover, throw Tarasenko on Sid's wing. Pretty sick winger for Sid, but there's just a lot of bodies. You got a bunch of guys with potential scoring. You've got your top six pretty much solidified. There's some guys in there that can definitely, even you kind of have a third scoring line too. But
absolutely, yeah.
Man, I would sniff on Tarasenko. I'd sign him for 2 years.
Tarasenko still got it, man. The dude can still, especially on the power play, dude can still rip it.
I think he's got more of a one-timer threat than Gino does at this point in his career.
Probably.
Oh yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'd do it, but yeah, I don't know. A lot of bodies. We'll see though. I mean, I'm sure they're all going to find their places.
Just some names here.
Would you sniff on Kevin Hayes again?
Nah, I don't think they're bringing Kevin Hayes back.
I think he was really good for the room, but he probably wants to actually play somewhere.
Yeah, just looking through, there's not much that's really left out there. The defense, the blue liners are even perhaps worse than the forwards, but everything's kind of picked through at this point. Again, some of these guys will sign here in the next couple of weeks leading into camp, maybe on a PTO. One guy I never thought that never really took off in Pittsburgh that I thought was going to, that's a free agent, and just saw his name pop up, was Tanner Pearson.
Oh yeah. Is he a free agent right now?
He is, yeah. He's yeah.
I mean, he was he was kind of a middle six guy for the Kings when they won that last cup. And then I don't know, he kind of just
went
worked
he came from LA and then went to Vancouver. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he kind of just worked his way down into like a fourth line. He got a really bad wrist injury that I think he like sued the team for or something. There was some drama about how they handled his wrist injury, and then he kind of became just like a steady Eddie fourth liner.
Yeah, I did see that. I remember that. I don't remember when that was.
Who do we got out there for like the Unks? Is there anybody that's still hanging around? Yeah, like old dudes.
Let's see. Patrick Laine's still a free agent.
Oh, I'd sniff on Laine all day. I would, dude. Just for he'd be my. I'd do 5D and get Laine in there, and he's your designated hitter. He only comes out on power plays.
Here's an Unk name that's a free agent, David Perron.
I hated him when he was in Pittsburgh. I did not understand that. I did not like that experiment whatsoever.
Gustav Nyquist.
Maybe.
Adam Henrique.
He's a free agent?
Yeah.
Nah, I think he's like 36 and
he is
center depth.
You were asking for Unks,
yeah,
so I'm giving you some Unks
here.
I'm going like anybody like 35 and over. And not goaltend. Marcus Johansson's 35, he's a free agent. Jeff Petrie.
I didn't hate Petrie that much. I think
here's a throwback name, Garrett Wilson.
I like Garrett Wilson. That guy can chuck him.
This guy was in Pittsburgh on a PTO, Robbie Fabry.
I liked Robbie Fabry in preseason, man. Like, I mean, that's an easy time to like somebody, but
it is.
That guy had some scoring prowess. I mean, I think he's probably got like twigs holding his ACLs together because I think he's had like 5 ACL surgeries, but the dude can rip the puck.
Evgeny Dadonov.
No, I'm not sniffing on that. Actually, if we get Tarasenko, bring in Dadonov.
Dadonov's 37. Feels like he's been around for like 20
when he
years.
Was at Florida. He was kind of a good player.
Did he win a cup in Florida?
No, Dadonov was in Dallas, I think.
He left before they won.
Yeah.
Didn't he go somewhere and get paid?
I can't remember what. I just remember. I think it was with Dadonov. They traded him, and then that whole thing where Ottawa lost a pick because they traded him.
Yeah,
and
that's right. They tried to like circumvent his no
move clause,
no move clause or something like that.
Yeah.
One thing I will say that I think is pretty insane is some of these contracts that were signed as free agents. Like some of these guys getting no movement clauses were insane. Like there were some contracts coming out that I'm like I think Ryan Shea got like a full no movement clause from Edmonton. That's like good on Ryan.
South there this year, he's gonna be begging to be moved like that.
Yeah,
he could be the next Ryan Whitney.
Oh gosh, he's from Boston, so
he's from Boston, but he's Whitney was like a 5th overall pick, I think. Ryan Shea was not, but
no, yeah, Ryan Whitney was good. Like there's no he was good. Like
there was a lot of hope in him.
When the Penguins moved on from him, a part of the Chris Kunitz trade, like there was extreme like concern. Like this was a major piece of their future. Like he was considered a big part of their future. And when they dealt him away, there was definitely some questions being asked. But again, in the end, it all worked out for.
Oh, you're thankful you didn't get stuck with him.
Yeah, and then he has a good career now with Barstool with the Spit and Chicklets. Like, I mean, I guess it go. What's that?
And Pink Whitney.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's making way more money now than what he. Well, I don't know. He had a pretty lucrative contract in the NHL, but between Pink Whitney and what he's getting paid by Barstool, he's making pretty decent money.
Yeah. Have you ever had that Pink Whitney stuff?
I have. It's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like that with a little seltzer water in with it.
It's a nice like relaxing drink. But
would you sign Patrick Kane? That's what I want to know.
Honestly, like what would it hurt? Like let's get wild. Like, I mean, wouldn't that be really something if I'm actually surprised Kane hasn't signed anywhere at this point. Because he definitely, again, not the player he was 10 years ago, but like he definitely still has some juice. Like it's still there. And I'm really surprised. I mean, he had 57 points in 67 games last year.
Damn, he was under a point a game.
Yeah, I mean, even in Detroit. Speaking
Geno
of Detroit,
supremacy. Everyone always argues who's better, Geno or Kane. I don't know why I think Geno's better.
and speaking of Detroit, Steve Yzerman is no longer the general manager. He is in now one of those advisory roles.
Like, is the game just different than what it was?
It is. Well, I think Breezewa in Tampa Bay was the magic man behind the scenes. I think there's a lot that goes into that, but Detroit, I don't know what the ownership situation's like. I see Red Wings fans complaining about their owner from time to time being cheap. And again, last year, like they were in the playoffs last year. Like there's no like that was a complete collapse. Like they were in the playoffs. They basically just had to win like 2 more games. They had been in the playoffs, and they just completely fell apart from like February to the end of the season. Just a complete collapse.
It was an epic collapse.
Yeah. So, I mean, they have good pieces, and maybe they didn't trade. They didn't trust Yzerman making the Larkin deal, or maybe that was a part of the Larkin. Dylan Larkin's willing to stay if they do something, some kind of management change. I don't know. So, yeah.
One thing I think about that too is, dude, you look at all the teams that have kind of rebounded from their playoff droughts. Like, how many first overall picks did the Sabres get? Edmonton, dude, the Detroit Red Wings sucked, and they never got anything higher than a top 5 pick. I think they got Marco Kasper, I think was number 5. They never got the lottery ball they needed to get like a game changer. And that's one thing I feel like it was weird. It was just like you never saw them get that, like, you know, Rasmus Dahlin. You never saw them get that Tim Stützle. You never saw them get that, like, McDavid or that Eichel. Yeah. Like, they never got any of those players. And then
I mean, even like Mo Seider was a sixth overall pick. Like, they never.
He was 6, yeah.
No, Lucas Raymond was 4th overall.
Oh, he was 4th overall. So they still didn't. They picked within the top 10, but but those like, are good pieces.
They are good pieces, but like if you look at, let's just say the year that they drafted Lucas Raymond, in front of him was Lafreniere, Byfield, and Stützle. Stützle, I think, is right now the best out of all of them. Mm-hmm. But like Byfield, I think has a talent to be very good. Now Lafreniere, you can make whatever, you can opine on that however you want. But if you look at the next year, they picked 6th overall, took Simon Edmondson. Above that was Owen Power, Matty Beniers, Mason McTavish, Luke Hughes, and Kent Johnson. Like, you missed out there. You missed out in, what year was this? This was 2022. You ended up picking 8th. You missed out on Cutter Gauthier, Logan Coley, Yuri Slafkovsky. You've missed out on Leo Carlson, Fantilli, Connor Bedard, Matvei Michkov. Like, you've missed out on a lot of really good talent, and by just not the ball never bouncing your way. And Vancouver's kind of in the same. Vancouver was by far and away the worst team in the NHL this year, and what they picked, 4th overall, the 3rd overall. Sorry, they got Caleb Malhotra.
They got Manny's kid, yeah.
Yeah, but like they missed out on the big 2 of McKenna and Stenberg. So like, yeah, again, a lot to play out there, obviously. But like Detroit never had Lucas Raymond, fantastic player, obviously, tortures the Penguins. But like your best pick in the last 10 years is 4th overall when you've been really bad that entire time. And the problem is then, like, if you're picking in that 4 to 10 range, like you have to hit a home run at some point, and they haven't.
And if you're not hitting a home run, I feel like there's these GMs where we're kind of entering not a gunslinger like Jim Rutherford Jim Rutherford would be, where he would be trading picks just for the best player available type thing. I mean,
Yeah.
like, dude, there's GMs that are just making stuff happen. Like, they'll trade a 4th overall pick for the player they want, or like they'll trade they'll try to really move up in the draft. They might ditch a veteran good piece just to get a little bit better position. Like, I don't know. I feel like we're entering a little bit more of a gunslinging, like, you want to get better. You just got the cap is high enough now. Money's not really the issue. It's just, what are you willing to part with, and who do you trust in your like management and front office to be like analytics and stuff. Like, I think we can part with this guy. Let's take a big swing on this. Let's get that game breaker prospect somehow, some way, and that puts you ahead a couple of years probably when you're getting that like top 3 pick.
Just looking at like
Steve just seems too patient, man.
Yeah, just looking at some of this, like 2017, Michael Rasmussen,
is he even in the league anymore?
He played last year, but like they passed on Owen Tippett, Marty Necas, Nick Suzuki.
Oh boy.
They passed on all those guys. Philip Hedel, who's Kyler Yamamoto. They passed on Ottinger, which goalies
everyone passed on Ottinger.
Yeah, but like 2018, Philip Zadina, who is not in the NHL anymore.
He didn't even last that long.
Guess who went the pick? Philip Zadina was 6th overall. Guess who went 7th?
Who?
Quinn Hughes.
Oh God.
Evan Bouchard went 10th that year. Noah Dobson went 12th. Just like looking at some of these, like misses here. Like, okay, Mo Sider, that one's fair. That they obviously won in Norris. Pick. Yeah, but then the year they picked Lucas Raymond, can't really. But Simon Edvinsson, who played 72 games this year for Detroit and had 25 points. They passed over Dylan Guenther.
Oh boy, that's a tough one, dude. That kid's nasty.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They took Elmer Soderblom and they passed on him later on, and guess what? Penguins got him now.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that he is that he's on that team. Marco Kasper. Who is Marco Kasper? He played 81 games this year for Detroit and recorded 19 points. He was taken 8th overall. They skipped Connor Geekie. Just going through some guys.
40 goals, I think, last year, didn't he?
Yeah, something like that. Jimmy Snugger.
Oh, no, that's Morgan Geekie. Connor Geekie's with Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah, that's the wrong Geekie. Never mind.
His brother.
But Matt Savoy, who had 37 points this year.
He's looking good for
starting to come into himself a little bit. It's just like some of the, like, again, if you're going to pick that low, you still eventually got to hit on one of these dudes. And they passed on Zach Benson in 2023. Benson looks like he's going to be
the next Marchand.
Yeah. It sucks. I mean, but again, like you said, it's just too patient. Like, at some point, you got to take a swing. You have good pieces there, and he never did. He just kind of I just think he thought it was all going to he was dealt his hand, and he was going to get all the cards to hit on the flop and the turn, and it just never, like, he was going to hit 21 at some point, and it just never it never worked out.
Maybe he had a little bit too much belief in his prospects. You know, like when you hear people say, like, it's almost a detriment when you love your own player too much. Like, maybe some of these guys he drafted, there could have been opportunities. He could have bundled a few of them together to try to get, like, but he's a patient guy. He's kind of reminds me of like the patience we see out of the Ron Francis, who was in Carolina. And, Carolina, after he left, they did end up taking off. But in Seattle, they just kind of sat on their hands and did the patient game. And
I mean, look, like the post-Carolina or the post-Francis Hurricanes, they swung for Rantanen, did not work. They ended up giving away Marty Necas in that whole entire situation. But they swung big. They went out and paid Nikolai Ehlers big bucks. And Nikolai Ehlers was a major key, and he scored some big goals for them in this run. They took a big swing to get Keandre Miller. Like, you have to take swings at some point, or you might as well you might as well not might as well not hold the keys.
For sure. I think that he just was trying to do it maybe the old-fashioned way. Obviously, the way that he came up in a patient Red Wings organization, and then in Tampa Bay, they just drafted and they just kind of hit on all their picks, even their really late picks, and it worked out. But I don't know. It's a different era. I think that evaluating talent maybe is a little bit different because just none of their prospects, except for their couple of home runs, really ever panned out. I mean, you go back, Mantha was one of their prospects at one point. And look where he's been passed around a bit. They had a couple other guys that were supposed to push through. Dylan Larkin played with Zetterberg.
Yeah, as Dylan Larkin was on the team the last time they were in the playoffs. Like he was a rookie or maybe second year, but like Dylan Larkin was on the team last time they were in the playoffs, and now
he's asking to be. He's Mr. Michigan too. He was at Michigan, and then he played. What did he do? Why was he Mr. Michigan again? Just because he played at Michigan and then he went to
I mean he's from Michigan.
He's from Michigan, right? Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's interesting out there in Detroit. We'll see what happens this year. They need a Buffalo type of bounce to come their way to get back into relevancy. But hey, you know what? Penguins kind of ended them. They beat them in the Stanley Cup final, and they never were relevant again.
Yep, that is for certain. But well, before we wrap this up, I do want to touch on one final thing, and that is the Wheeling Nailers are no longer the Penguins ECHL affiliate. Kind of saw that coming when the Hoffman family took over, but their 29-year relationship came to an end. The contract was up. It's not like they cut it short. And then the Penguins at the same day announced that the Florida Everblades, as expected, are the new ECHL affiliate. And hey, Florida, they're coming off a Kelly Cup championship. I think that's 3 in the last 4 years or something like that. They've built a good program down there. So hopefully that can all continue. And the Penguins, again, they'll send some of those guys down there. I guess there's worse places to play than Florida during the traditional hockey months. So, we'll see how that all pans out. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird because Wheeling has been there for almost 3 decades. I watched Wheeling play in Johnstown when Johnstown still had an ECHL team. Long time affiliate that is now ended in Florida. The Everblades are the new affiliate owned by the Hoffman family.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I mean, I was actually just going to see who are the all-time best Wheeling Nailers to bless the crest of that logo. Paul Bissonnette, he had a
there's going to be some names in there. That's going to be, let's remember some guys kind of stuff there.
Isaac Bellevaux.
Josh Archibald.
Jonathan Bernier. Oh, that's not Jonathan Bernier.
That's not the one you're thinking of.
I was like, when was he in the? Let's see here. Thomas Beauregard. That was an 86. That's not who I'm thinking of. God, dude, Chris Barton played 116 games for them.
Holy crap! Bissonnette played 100 games down there.
Yeah, I think he got in trouble or something, and he went down there. They sent him to the coast. He was a 2-time All-Star.
Oh, gosh.
As a defenseman. And then he played forward. He should have just been a defenseman in the NHL.
He probably would have been a fine defenseman.
I mean, I think unless Erica Branson or something. Like, I guess he could skate really good backwards. He just couldn't skate forward very well. God, a lot of these guys, I'm not even trying to be rude, but I just that's Doug. I thought it was Bates Battaglia. Doug Battaglia. Maybe he's related to Bates. Tyler Biggs. He played 2 games. Tyler Biggs, I think he was big prospect that the Maple Leafs swung on.
Scott Darling played for the 32 games for the Nailers. Or wait. Yeah, it says he. Oh yeah, I was looking. Yeah. Scott Darling played 32 games. Mike Condon played 39 games for the.
Oh no way, Mike Condon.
Yeah, there's a name. John Sebastian Dea. He played with the Penguins for a hot minute.
Oh, Andy Chiodo.
Oh, okay. He did
41 games.
Casey DeSmith played 13 games.
Joe Cicerello. That sounds like a hockey name.
That's probably from Boston.
Yeah, Mike Condon. Gabriel. Oh, Sam Augustino. No, was
he might have gone
with 3 Agostino.
okay.
Those are D'Agostino. Gabriel Daigle.
Bobby Farnham played 9 games.
Let's see.
Gosh, there are some names on here though. Holy moly!
Yeah, how long did you say they'd been a part of the system?
30 years, but they existed before that. They were with somebody else, but I can't remember who it was. Taylor Gauthier is their all-time leading goaltender, obviously.
A guy by the name of Mike Gooch played 9 games.
Oh man, I'd have to shut it down.
Yeah. Oh, Avery Hayes. He had 1 game with the Wheeling.
Oh, did he? Okay.
There's some relevancy for you.
God, I'm just trying to think of, trying to pick out any possible, like.
Zenon Konopka played 68 games.
Why does
22 goals,
so
48 assists.
Holy heck, that's quite.
For 70 points. Zenon Konopka. You would remember him from
Yushiro Irano.
No way. Oh, dude, I know that guy.
Yeah. He played, where was that at? Oh, he played 119 games, had 92 points. He's from Tomakomai, Japan. It does sound familiar, though, now that you say that.
He was a little viral on the internet for a little bit. He's probably Japan's best player right now. Why does Zenon Konopka sound so familiar? He never played for the Penguins. He played for the 05-06 Mighty Ducks.
Okay, maybe that's why.
He played for the Columbus Blue Jackets in 06-07, 07-08, and then he played for the Lightning 08-09, 9-10, Islanders 2010, 2011, Senators.
Okay, so he played, yeah.
He was around. I think he was a fighter.
Okay, that makes sense.
Dude, if you look at him, he looks like Paul Bissonnette if he was Russian.
He's not, though. Zenon Konopka says he's from Ontario.
Oh my god, his
parents had to be immigrants from
I'm like, he doesn't
Russia.
speak a lick of English, but he's fluent.
Emil Laramie.
Oh, we got some O'Connors. Nope, none of the O'Connors that we know. Oh, Michel Oulet in 2002.
Get a load of this one. Peter Laviolette, not the coach.
Not the coach?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Francois Leroux, I forgot about. Yep, Francois Leroux.
Get this. Oh wait, never mind. Never mind. Scratch that. That's not
again. Some of these guys, this is all the farther they ever got, so they just played a bunch of games. In.
You remember Michel Ouellet?
Oh yeah. Very good player, just could not skate.
Good player.
Mark Malone played that.
Garrett Sparks, 5 games.
Oh, wow. Oh, I do think I remember that, though. I think that was after
his tenure in the
his
NHL.
tenure. Yeah, I think they brought him in for something, and he got some game time.
I think he came over. Was it when Dubas first got here?
He was almost like an emergency goaltender. They just stored down there for a couple weeks.
Well, there you go. I got to the end of the list. There's some names in the Wheeling Nailers long history. Most of those were,
and I'm sure I saw some of these dudes play when they come to Pitt or come to Johnstown. I don't remember a ton of names. There's a Pellick there, but it wasn't Adam Pellick. Again, some of these guys are probably related to guys in the NHL that Peter Laviolette has to be related to,
Well, I saw 3 DiAgostinos in a row. If those guys aren't related, that's like a glitch in the matrix. There shouldn't be that many DiAgostinos that played for the same East Coast Hockey League team.
There's a Chris Rooney, but I don't know if that's the
Chris Rooney.
Carter Rowney, 44 games.
I loved Carter Rowney, honestly.
Yeah, Carter Rowney had a Danny Sabrin played 27. Carter Rowney was a pretty he played a pretty important role in that 2017.
Yeah, it was him, Oscar Sundquist, and who else would have been on that fourth line? Matt Cullen?
Cullen's probably the other guy, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good fourth line.
Really good names. But yeah. So wheeling out, Florida in. But
so they just all their players from Wheeling just go to the Florida team, right?
I would assume. I don't know how all it exactly works. I guess we'll find out. But
I guess there's players that probably just signed East Coast Hockey League contracts, so they would probably stay with Wheeling because they're signed by Wheeling.
If they signed a contract with Wheeling, they stay in Wheeling. But if they have a contract with the Penguins, that would mean they go to Florida, from what I assume. Now I don't know how that's all broken down exactly, because there's guys that just signed deals with Wilkes-Barre, like. They sign a minor league deal with Wilkes-Barre, and if the Penguins would want to call them up, they'd have to sign them to a contract and then call them up to a pro contract.
I see. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Or an NHL contract, I should say.
I guess we'll see how that impacts the team. I'm sure it's just nice for those players who have a contract with the Penguins, but are in the coast. They get to go stay in Florida for their hockey, maybe in the middle of winter might be kind of nice. I don't know what it's like in Wheeling, West Virginia. Is it tropical there? Or?
No, it's like 45 minutes west of Pittsburgh, if that. It's
45 minutes west of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So towards like Ohio.
Yep.
And then what? South?
No, it's just on the part of West Virginia that like sticks up. It's like a little, it's just a little strip of land. It's just West Virginia's kind of an odd shape and it just sticks up a little bit.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's on you remember the Little Rascals, Alfalfa's hair?
Yeah, that's basically it's basically
Wheeling is Alfalfa's hair of West Virginia.
Yep, that makes
sense. Wow, that's
fair.
So funny. They couldn't you're telling me Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania couldn't take that little piece of land?
Probably should just annex it real quick and be done with it.
Be done with it, yeah. Have you ever been to Wheeling?
Yeah, I've been there and I've driven through it because it's to get out through there. It's to get to Indianapolis and stuff. You have to go through it. Basically, it's just the easiest route to just drive right through it.
What's your take of Wheeling, West Virginia? Is it an armpit or is it a nice place?
Compared to everything around it, it's pretty nice. But again, it's a tiny town. It's not very big. But there is stuff to do. It's because there's nothing around it. Everything just centralizes there. So there's plenty of stuff to actually do. It's just West Virginia.
Well, c'est la vie, Nailers. Welcome to the fold, Everblades.
Yep. But that's about it. I mean, we caught up on a lot of things. Got some raccoon talk.
Talk Jimothy.
But other than that, Snell, I don't really have anything. It is past dinner time. If you have not seen the Odyssey, go see the Odyssey.
Oh yeah, dude. Maybe we'll say wait till I see it and then we can talk about it.
And we'll talk about it then. So
I heard it had great reviews.
It's very good. It's long, but it's very good.
You saw it in a movie theater, right?
Yes, I saw it in a movie theater.
Run down quickly. What do you get? Do you sneak snacks in, or do you hit concessions?
I just got popcorn. I'd eaten dinner not long before that, so I didn't really need. I just got popcorn to have popcorn because I like popcorn.
No soda?
Yeah, and a Coke. Yeah.
Okay, and a Coke.
Yeah.
Classic combo right there.
Classic combo. Yep.
I started sneaking stuff in, but every once in a while I do like the ritual of going to concessions. I'll get some Starburst or something.
Yeah, it's really too bad that the prices are what they are, but there is a nice little traditional side of
exactly.
Yeah. But
all right, Robbie, we can get out of here, but this was fun, man. I'm glad we got to shoot the shit for a second here and catch up. We'll have to catch back up here soon and maybe do one of our random episodes where we talk about just players of the past or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, everyone. So for Snail, I'm Robbie. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you sometime here in the next week or so. But until then, stay safe, stay cool. We'll talk to you guys on the flip side.